In the realm above the clouds, where jade mist swirls around obsidian temples, the gods gather in sacred council. The fourth sun has ended in catastrophe, and the world lies empty and silent. Tezcatlipoca, the smoking mirror, drums his fingers of volcanic glass. Tlaloc, the rainbringer, watches storm clouds gather in his eyes. But it is Quetzalcoatl, the feathered serpent, who speaks first. The earth needs people to offer prayers, to tend the maize, to remember our names. But who among us will risk everything to bring them forth? The gods have tried before to make humans, first from clay, then from wood, but each attempt has failed. Clay people melted in the rain. Wood people had no hearts, no blood, no memory of their creators. Now the secret to true humanity lies buried deep in Mictlan, the realm of the dead, where Lord Mictlan Tecutli hoards the bones of the people from the previous world. These bones, ground and mixed with divine blood, are the only way to create beings with souls that burn like copal incense. While other gods hesitate, Quetzalcoatl's serpentine coils shimmer with determination. His Quetzal feathers catch the light of dying stars. I will descend to Mictlan, he declares, his voice like wind through temple stones. I will face the Death Lord in his bone palace. I will bring back what we need. The other gods murmur warnings. None who enter the land of the dead return unchanged. But Quetzalcoatl has already begun his transformation, his body shifting between wind and serpent, between God and force of nature. Quetzalcoatl begins his journey through the 9 levels of the underworld. Each level grows darker, colder, more treacherous than the last. Rivers of blood block his path, mountains of grinding obsidian try to crush him. Skeletal birds with voices like screaming wind circle overhead. Through it all, the feathered serpent presses on, his divine nature protecting him from the terrors that would destroy any mortal. The very stones whisper warnings, but Quetzalcoatl's purpose burns brighter than their fear. At last, Quetzalcoatl reaches the heart of Mictlan, a vast palace built entirely of human bones from ages past. Femur pillars support skull archways. Rib cages form intricate windows that filter pale, ghostly light. Here sits Mictlan Tecutli, Lord of the Dead, upon his throne of vertebrae. His body is half flesh, half exposed bone, and his crown is made of jade funeral masks. Around him lie the precious bones Quetzalcoatl seeks, the essence of humanity waiting to be reborn. Mictlan Tecutli's laugh echoes like rattling bones when Quetzalcoatl makes his request. You want the bones of my people? Very well, feathered serpent, but first you must prove your worth. Carry this conch shell 4 times around my realm and make it sing. Do this, and the bones are yours. The Death Lord hands Quetzalcoatl a plain conch shell with no holes, impossible to blow. But Quetzalcoatl accepts with a bow, his mind already working. The god of wind and wisdom is not so easily defeated. As Quetzalcoatl begins his circuit around Mictlan, he calls upon his allies, the worms of the earth and the wasps of the air. The tiny creatures bore holes through the conch shell and nest inside it. When Quetzalcoatl puts the shell to his lips and blows, his divine breath combines with the beating of wasp wings to create the most beautiful music ever heard in the land of the dead. The song echoes off bone walls, bringing a moment of beauty to the realm of endings. Even Mictlan Tecutli nods in grudging admiration. True to his word, Mictlan Tecutli grants Quetzalcoatl the bones, but the Death Lord's heart is darker than obsidian. He secretly commands his servants to prevent the feathered serpent's escape. As Quetzalcoatl gathers the precious remains, bones of men and women from the previous world, he senses the trap closing around him. The very air grows thick with malice. Without warning, he transforms into pure wind and races toward the surface, the bones clutched tight in his coils, while behind him the entire underworld erupts in pursuit. Just as Quetzalcoatl nears the surface world, Mictlan Tecutli's trap springs. A quail, servant of the Death Lord, startles the escaping god. Quetzalcoatl stumbles and falls, and the precious bones scatter across the rocky ground, breaking into pieces of different sizes. Some fragments are large, others small, which is why humans today are tall and short, broad and narrow. But the sacrifice is not over. Quetzalcoatl must now give his own divine blood to bring the bones to life. In a sacred temple above ground, Quetzalcoatl performs the ultimate sacrifice. He pierces his body with maguey thorns and lets his divine blood drip onto the ground bones. The goddess Cihuacoatl, serpent woman, helps him grind the bones in a sacred jade bowl, while other gods contribute their blood to the mixture. As the divine essence mingles with the ancient remains, something miraculous begins to happen. The dust stirs, takes shape, breathes its first breath. Humanity is born from sacrifice and divine love. From the sacred mixture rise the first people of the fifth sun, the ancestors of all humanity. They are neither clay nor wood, but flesh and blood and spirit combined. In their hearts burns the memory of divine sacrifice. In their veins flows the gift of the gods. They know instinctively to honor their creators with prayers and offerings, to tend the maize that is their flesh, to keep the cosmic balance through ritual and remembrance. They are small gods themselves, capable of creating beauty, love, and meaning in the world. Thus Quetzalcoatl earned his place as humanity's greatest friend among the gods. The feathered serpent who risked everything in the realm of death, who outsmarted the Death Lord himself, who gave his own divine blood so that we might live. In every human heart beats the rhythm of his sacrifice. In every act of creation we echo his gift. The bones he stole have become our bones. His blood flows in our veins, and his love for humanity endures as long as maize grows and children are born under the turning stars.